Aloha, I am Deb Hart.
Aloha mai kako. I am PrimRose Lehualani Kekahuna Harris.
Fabulous. And this is another deep dive into essential oils with Deb and Primrose. And if you've been following, you know that we don't just talk about essential oils, though it's important for us to talk about essential oils, and we really want to bring that. That is really the premise of our conversation, but we're bringing it all in because we are fully in this shift right now. And with that said, our conversation today is going to really be about supporting us, to really support us. What do I do? What does Primrose do? What are we using to support us in this current shift that we're in with all these frequencies? So it's always off the cuff and we just flow with whatever's happening. So here's where we're starting. So wait.
And also a little note, if you have been following us for a little bit, you would know like before my camera was on this side of me and you guys were on this side, but now I have a new camera position and it's up. So sometimes I'm gonna be looking at the camera, sometimes I'm just gonna be looking at the screen to see Deb and
But it won't be like this.
but it won't be like this. It won't be like that anymore. But I
Yeah,
I do have a friendly reminder to
we
look
got it.
up at times.
Very good. Very good.
So thanks for working with us.
I love that. And all our dorkiness and
Yeah,
authenticity.
all of
Name of the game.
that. Name of the game.
So, one of the things that I have some notes that I brought up of like different things that I wanted to make sure that I brought up, and one of them is why we're talking about using essential oils. And that's because the olfactory sense is one of the fastest pathways into the limbic system.
Mhm.
And the limbic brain, the system of the limbic system, is often referred to as the emotional nervous system because it significantly influences our emotional responses and behaviors. And so, because our olfactory sense, our sense of smelling, is the fastest pathway into it, it directly influences our emotions, our memories, our autonomic regulation, and our nervous system state. So these are significantly the reasons why Primrose and I are working with essential oils and why we wanted to bring them to you. Because obviously, we have a lot of different tools in our tool bag. Essential oils is one of them, but it's a big part of our lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm glad that you're gonna bring that up because actually I think we talked about it in some of our other videos. Why am I always sniffing the oils? And Deb just pretty much summed it up right here in this introduction. So that is why I'm always sniffing the oils because of our olfactory and how it connects to our emotional and our
Straight to the
limbic
brain.
and how it helps open up all of our other systems, especially like if you understand that every every piece of our system, it connects to an element, it connects to a piece of like an essential oil can connect to a piece of our body part, our different lungs, or like how it opens up, how it closes it, how the essence or the chi moves through our channels and things like that. So I don't think we ever said it like that. So I just wanted to point that out that that's exactly why I sniff the oils in the way that I do. Thanks, Deb.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that you did because that's where I've been learning it is this is why we're in this deep dive together is I wanted to learn from Primrose because she's so incredible. And I yeah.
You too, sister.
Ah. So I want to start off before we get into the essential oils. I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about a gigantic shift that happened on the planet. And it happened in June. So, right now it's obvious to all of us that we're in this huge period of rapid change. It, depending on where you are in your ascension process, is going to show you, is really going to determine where the changes in your life. But collective turbulence, we know it's very turbulent out there. very chaotic. We've got heightened sensitivity for those of us that are becoming more embodied already, much more heightened, and because of the stronger influx of energy. And this is because, no, I shouldn't say this is because there's many different things. There's all of the solar flares and the solar radiation storms and the CMEs and all of that kind of stuff, and the plasma light that's coming. I want to take it a step further than that. And that is on June 6th, 12 pyramids were activated across the planet. They were activated. There was a boom that was picked up by seismographs. So this is all scientifically documented. There was a boom that was picked up by seismographs under the Giza pyramid, which was the first boom, the first activation. 330 feet in depth, and it lasted for 33 seconds. At 33 hertz. So we know the number 33 is all about Christ consciousness. I mean, wow. I mean, do you feel all of that right now? Holy cow. This in turn activated hundreds of pyramids across our planet. So I think we now know that there are thousands of pyramids across our planet, a lot of them underground, some of them underwater. They're all being activated. And this caused a chain reaction. It caused the stargates to all open up. And it caused all the crystals to be activated. So there's all kinds of crystals that are still buried from times of Lemuria and other epochs that are buried in the ground, that are in the ocean. All of the crystals have been activated, which are all of these things are affecting our body and really helping us move up into a higher frequency. So I just wanted to start off by sharing that, because it's not just, oh yeah, we're getting another X-class solar flare, by the way, is going to hit in the next 24, 36, 48 hours, somewhere in there. Not just another one of those. It is, we are stepping up, and everything is activating to assist us in our embodiment. So it's very exciting, very exciting. So we're able to hold really a greater energetic load now. So I just wanted to start off with sharing that. And this is why we need a lot of support right now. We gotta really baby these bodies and support ourselves, because if we don't, and we start really just taking on the frequencies of not of the planet, but humanity and the releasing and all that is in the air, it's not going to support us. It's not going to support us in raising our frequency and moving further into our own embodiment. It's really important that we take care of ourselves. And I think we've talked about that, I think, quite a bit, how important it is. Love yourself. You're the first person that you need to love. And that includes, I mean, that is what taking care of ourselves is all about. It's about our self-love, right? So what I was getting, that was cute. Did you just do that?
I totally just did that.
I don't even know how that happens, but I like that it was there. So before we start talking about oils, again, I just wanted to, like, as I was making notes and kind of thinking through what's going on, I think there's 4 major needs for people right now. And I have a feeling, because we don't ever talk about like what oils are, unless it's an oil we want to talk about. We don't talk ahead of time about like what we want to share. I have a feeling that some of the oils that PrimRose wants to talk about is covering these 4 areas. Guaranteed. So 1, grounding and anchoring in the body. You have to be fully here in your body to do this. And I am finding so many people that are not in their bodies when I'm doing sessions. And I want to bring up a story, because it was such a simple little story with a profound effect. So I had a client the other day who had pain in her tailbone. And as we're kind of investigating and pulling cards and what's going on, she had a trauma a couple of months ago. This is about the time that it happened. She didn't have a fall that hurt her tailbone. She had a horse die that she loved very much and that she was getting a heart healing with. And it ended up leaving her with a broken heart. And what happened was she partially left her body. She hasn't been inhabiting it. So we talked through multiple different ways, including vetiver, using an oil to help you ground, but multiple different ways that she could assist herself. And I just got a message from her today saying, thank you so much. It's not hurting anymore. We didn't do much. I didn't even do a session on her. We just chatted about it. And I'm sharing that because there are a lot of us walking around that are not in our bodies. We either want to be up in these high frequencies or we're fearful. So it's not safe to be in the body. We have got to be in the body. It's very important right now. Okay. So grounding, being in the body. Number 2, nervous system regulation. And I know we talked about that last time. It's big time right now with all these frequencies. We've got to regulate our nervous system because these frequencies coming in are affecting our nervous system. Number 3, energetic boundaries and discernment. I keep hearing that we have got to figure out discernment or we're going to have some major issues in the very near future because what direction do we look for truth, right? We can hear every single direction depending on what we're listening to. We have to know within ourselves what the truth is. So I think that's number 3. And heart coherence, staying open without being overwhelmed. So a lot of times we tend to, when we're really overwhelmed, we tend to shut down. We got to leave our heart open. Be in your divine sacred heart. Be in your high heart. But be open. Be open. So anyway, I just wanted to start off with those 4 things that it's feeling like, oh, I like that. That's cute.
I love that. I wrote that down on my notes over here to go into, like, actually it kind of flows into what I already want
Fabulous.
to touch base on. And you're absolutely right. We kind of are on that same vibe of the grounding is definitely what I wanted to talk about. And moving, I think we talked about this off camera already today, where it's like moving things into motion and how that really does go into our body system, what we need to, the boundaries that we have to have for ourselves, and knowing like that it's okay for us to have boundaries. Like we are not supposed to be continuously consuming the same things that does not serve us and does not let us move into motion to become more of our whole self. And that does connect to that reciprocity, as we also talk, like where it's like an accountability on our end. But what we didn't touch base, but it definitely goes to this last one that you said was the heart coherence and being open, because with that tug of war, if you must say, right, on letting go of certain things, but pushing it or flowing yourself forward as much as possible. It does, like, you do have to have that understanding of working through the things that are not keeping you grounded and not letting you be in motion and letting you sit with who you are while flowing yourself to still be open to as you're growing through that. Because a lot of times that when I hear what you said, like it instantly took me back to some experiences of helping others and helping myself. I understand that I may be a little bit more equipped than others to like sit through the emotions, alchemize it, right? Like get through the origins of it, like how you were able to help your client to understand she didn't have to fall, but she had a pilina, right? Or a relationship with a horse that passed away, and pieces of her left as well, which when I think about it, because I was working with horses and I do understand horses carry our emotions. They can literally alchemize our emotions, and if they're trained horses in that area to be able to take on your emotions, like where you go into a setting of a horse wrangler who is certified in this area, to be able to say this horse, and you can go ahead and have a therapy session in that. The horses can do all of that. Like the
Yes.
horses clear the energy, right? But if it's something like you have to go to that horse and continuously do, and you're not able to do it for yourself, it does take someone else now to help guide to that area, to what you did, where you just brought it to light and you brought it to the consciousness for her to be like, oh, it was just that in that motion
That's
where,
it.
right?
And
Yeah.
it wasn't even a physical trauma. It seems like, yes, that was really sad, but it doesn't seem like I wanted to bring that as an example because it's something really simple that
Yeah.
happened in her life. And it wasn't even her horse, by the way. But you know what else I wanted to add when you're talking about equine therapy? I was just listening to somebody who's like I would say like a horse whisperer, but she's a medium that connects with animals, but she works hugely with horses. And she said that their heart, um, what is it? You know, like our hearts are 10 times more stronger and more effective than our brains. And our heart actually sends the signals to our brain for what our brain sends out to the rest of the body. Our horse's heart is 10 times more than our heart. They're very, and that they can hear our heartbeat 4 feet away. They're highly, highly sensitive. And that hit me when you were saying that. So thank you for bringing
You're
that up.
welcome. Yeah, no, like I worked with horses and been in therapy with horses to see them like do that. So and it's cool that you brought that example up for me, because I would always bring in I always would pule before any, like even getting in my vehicle. So pule means prayer in Hawaiian. So always putting that into motion, plus always bringing my crystals, my essential oils, all of that, but making sure the number one thing for me was always making sure I'm clear, I'm empty, because horses can pick that up from anyone, right? So making sure, like, as I'm a middle person for the horses and for the clients, it was making sure I'm good, so that that reciprocity between me and the horse, like, it doesn't need to do anything on my end. It needs to come in and do the session for the people. So that, when I think about everything that you brought up as well, it really goes into what we're talking about, like checking myself and doing my own work first before, and not just with people but also with animals, because
Yes.
animals really, they can pick up so many
So sensitive.
things. Yeah, they're so sensitive, kind of like how, where you're showing about the mo'os or the geckos,
Yeah.
right? And even earlier when you started, saw the gecko crawling up behind you, that I was just
Yeah.
like thinking to myself, like,
They
oh,
love me.
yeah, and the frequencies, the energies, like, because when you think about it, like, look,
Yeah.
they're not communicating in this verbal way with us, but in that energetic space, we're all in communication. So the more that you're able to be grounded, work through your nervous system, release certain things out of your nervous system, have energetic boundaries to say, what are you letting in? What are you not letting in?
What are you keeping out?
What are you keeping out? Yeah, like boundaries. Like I remember getting asked from my kahu one time, like, why do you have boundaries? And I said, oh, to protect me first and foremost, and to protect others. And she said, so is the boundaries for, she asked, is the boundaries to keep people in or to keep people out? Or to let people in or to let people out? And I said both,
Yeah.
because like, there are some times and
Yes.
spaces that you don't want to let people in, especially if they're not doing their kuleana
Yep.
in their own self mastery. And then there's times like right here where it's like we let each other in, but we also created boundaries around what we want to enter into our safe space, right?
Yes.
As we grow on. So definitely understanding, like, that is huge for that energetic boundaries, because at the end of the day, or the beginning and end of the day, actually, when we put ourselves into motion or we uphold a kuleana, whether you were born into it or it was chosen throughout the life path, we really are the ones that need to set that into motion to understand, take that accountability of what are we stepping into. What did we have no choice because we were born into it, which that is where some people's responsibility and kuleana is maybe generational. It was maybe already prophesized or chosen over them. And then which ones did we let in because we started mastering ourselves and we started knowing who we are. And I think that for me helps create that openness to like flow more easily, flow more in my authentic vibe. So like this that we're gonna talk about for everybody else out there, yeah, we're in alignment. We really didn't talk about this, to be honest. Like Deb just threw
Nope.
this on here where it's like, what we got to talk about, and so this
So
is
much, so
kind of
much.
so much because we both been just in our own elevation, our own homework, our own life experiences, and
Yep,
but somehow some ways we always know like we are in synchronicity and that we
we
do
are.
get to somehow flow and be in rhythms and cycles that like it helps us but helps beyond us as well. So
Yes.
I already got my grounding blends right in front of me. I
Well,
already have my nervous system oils to the left of me.
oh, right on. I knew it. I knew it.
And I have my sprays that I was just talking about with you, like where it like creates those boundaries as well and lets me flow to the depth. And then I feel like all of this just has that opportunity for me to always live in that openness no matter what happens. Like, so
Yes.
yes. All right, take it away.
So you, so you're talking about energetic boundaries, and that was something when I said like the four things that came up. So I pulled three cards out of my own deck, and I know I showed this before. It's being shipped tomorrow, so it's available on my website. It's allalchemy.com. But I pulled, it's really metaphysical, not metaphysical, more of medical intuitive
Mm,
chakra work to be embodied. That's what it's about. But I pulled three cards from my deck for the collective. And the first one was sovereignty,
mm,
all about sovereignty, reclaiming your inner fire. And discernment to me is about sovereign. I mean, I'm sorry, energetic boundaries is about sovereignty. Like I'm standing in my own sovereignty, so I decide what stays out and what I allow to come into my field. That's sovereign.
yeah.
So I wanted to show that to you because that came up. So, all right, do you want to? I just have a list of a bunch of oils and that I was going to bring up. So you want to jump into oils?
Yeah, we can jump into oils, especially the ones that how you said sovereign. I have this is gonna be the cards for the sovereign one. And when I think about sovereign, I think about us being in our powers, being present in who we are, right? And that
Mm,
authenticity.
yeah.
Because then you're able to say
Yes.
who you are, what you like, what you don't like, how you like to move, how you don't like to move, what helps you to become more of you, to go into your sacred dreams, and your goals, and what you're supposed to bring to life here. And so yeah, so let's dive into that. I actually have, for sovereignty, this makes so much sense actually now that I'm saying it, is the arise. I did share about this offline to you, but when I think about the arise, and the arise ingredients has lemon, grapefruit oil, Siberian fir, osmanthus, and melissa. Um, and this is part of the yoga kit, but it's part of the enlightenment blend. And when you think about sovereignty in many ways, right, it enlightens you once you become free. It really like releases a lot of things. You don't have to carry on other people's burdens. You don't have to consume other people's life history. You don't have to be in their world. You get to be fully embodying who you are. and your self-identity. So I
Fabulous.
have a rise in there. So I like to just smell things in here. I think today I want to show like a little bit more of like what Deb talks about me, where it's like I can just sniff the oils. And this is a blend, right? So when I think about all the different oils inside of this blend, it's really detoxing as well. Lemon and grapefruit. It
Yeah.
really like lets you clear out certain things
And it's
while
not just, I'm sorry, I just want to add right there before you move on. It's not just cleansing out what's inside of you. Those cleanse your field as well.
yes.
So it's energetically cleansing you.
Yes. And so I love that Deb actually said that, because there are times that I may be smelling the oils, or I would just leave it out in front of me, or like with a crystal, because it has its own essence and it has its own power. So the oils by itself is plants, obviously. The plants can do its own thing. The plants has its own kuleana and its own job, right? And so I have my own job as well. But that pro co-creation with it is what amplifies the power, because it's like, oh, lemon can do something by itself. Melissa can do something by itself. Then when they combine together, they do a different thing together, right? Because then you're like an individual or a collective. Same when we are connecting with the oils. So I'll just go something like this, and then I'll look over, oh, okay, I'm present. I'm present. So now I'm in my superpower because I am present. Being present means that you're able to also understand what is real and what is not real in your frequency. What are you seeing
Good.
now
So good.
versus what you may be,
Yes.
or what may be trying to snoop in, like, the Google Calendar, oh, the work life, oh, other people out there traveling or something like that. You're so present in who you are right now that you know what is right now is what matters.
Yes.
And that for me goes through grounding, goes through my nervous system, understanding I'm safe, I'm good, I'm right here. Also my energetic boundaries, also being open to this moment and connecting to sovereignty. So I definitely want to share that into motion, because I could pull this card. Oh, you probably can't see it because my whole light and everything, because the background. And it
Presence is
may
my superpower.
superpower. Mm-hmm. And it may say, awake, my beautiful friend. It may start off like that. Now, when I think of awake, I do think of arise, actually.
Yes, I
But
do
then it
too.
may also have other oils listed there, like peppermint by itself. Yes, peppermint's a great oil to have by itself.
Yes.
However, me as an individual, I do think about arise. I do think about, oh yeah, this gets me up. I can smell it in my bed. I
She's
can,
stimulated.
yeah, it
Uh-huh.
stimulates me in a different way.
Yeah.
So that when it comes to sovereignty is everything, because this could be a suggestion, even just like this, arise, right? Two different suggestions, but it matters to self, because that's sovereignty.
So
So
when you
that's,
were oh, I'm sorry.
no, so I was gonna say, so that's what I have to say. What you
Oh,
got there?
so I was getting the image when you were talking about lemon and Melissa and joining them together. I was seeing a Vesica Pisces. So you've got the lemon and then you've got the Melissa, but when you put them together, it makes a third entity that's different.
Mm-hmm.
The frequency is different.
Yep.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, so I just I have them in no order, but I'm just kind of going in order of my notes. So the first one is one that I popped out just as I was chatting, and that's vetiver. So grounding into the body. If people are really floaty, overstimulated, disassociated, or your crown's really heavy, it really roots you. It brings you down to land in your body, to occupy your body, to be embodied. It's really important. It also helps sleep, and it helps hypervigilance because you're more in your body. it also helps to regulate the nervous system. Again, something that we really, really need. And this is really good for empaths and people that are highly sensitive because we're getting, I want to say bombarded with such high frequency energy. It's really stimulating us that are already so sensitive to be more sensitive. So it kind of helps to calm that for us. So I think it's overall it's good for all of us. But I just wanted to throw that in there as well.
So I love that you said that because I also have peace
Where's my
here
better beer?
with me.
Better beer.
Um, and I have peace, and the first ingredient listed is vetiver.
What
In
is peace?
peace.
Oh,
Yes.
I
So
that is one of my favorite blends. I love peace.
I love peace. Like
Love peace.
I order this one. Yeah, by like I have like always an extra on deck. Um, because I just love this oil.
Me
Peace,
too.
but that's the top one that is on here is vetiver. So I was like, oh, of course she would say that, knowing that this has been, um, yeah, one of the oils, and I think since the fire. So being a part of our DoTERRA team, it was one of the most epic things that DoTERRA did after the fires on
Yes.
Maui, that they really blessed the community with so much oils and helping everyone from hygiene to emotions.
Kits.
And they blessed so much people with the emotional line, right? Which has the peace, which has the forgive, which all of that. And when you talk
Yes.
about grounding and just this whole lineup, right here, it really does take me to that space of needing to go through that whole emotional line, like the console, the peace, the forgive, the passion, the joy, and the motivate. Like I can see all six of those and think about what you just said. All four of these areas: the grounding, nervous system, energetic, boundaries, heart coherence, that leads into sovereignty. Because it's like what we were saying. It's not like it's an easy street, right? To just, or an easy life to tackle all of these four areas
Yeah.
with everything outside of us that we cannot control happening
Amen to
outside
that.
of us, right? So it's more of that self mastery of understanding, you know what, some days you're going to be popping. You're going to be great. You're going to be flowing. You're going to have all the energy in the world. And some days or weeks, you may not. You may have to be in a cocoon, or you may have to be like in your own bubble. You may have to like protect yourself because you're growing through certain things that
Year and
you
a half. A year and a half.
like how
I
you went
just came
through
out.
you went through a whole cocoon, a whole just focus on what you were being guided to,
I know.
and being able to like get through all of that, right? In your own, and it wasn't the most easiest. So when you talk about sovereignty, that's where I learned, you know, for us, like that sovereignty is growing on a journey that some may not know of. It may not matter to them as well because it's not their journey, but also it may get lonely because it's a self mastery. It's a sovereign thing where there's so much magical nuggets in there and magical moments and just magical expansion. But you need
Yes.
your tools to help you grow through that, and your tools sometimes are not in the human form. It's like we're just the messengers at some point, pretty much wherever you find us. We have mentors. Deb and I have mentors to help us elevate in other areas of life, including these oils, that helps us become whole. There we go. Whole. That's sovereignty.
Yes.
More whole to who we are, um, and grow through everything. Get more grounded in what we're supposed to get grounded in. Work through the things that may bring up anxieties or fears, or like, oh, we don't know what's happening here, or something that may come to us as a test or as an experience of life to grow through. Um, to have those boundaries, to be open in who we are. I'm looking up because I'm just actually having like major flashbacks on our journey to be like, wow,
Yeah,
it's been a journey for the both of us.
it's
And
been
like
a journey.
to
But
see us both here in this moment to actually talk about everything, knowing how our journey has taken us in so many different directions, in so many elevations,
Mhm.
all the way down
Yep.
to the downs of the downs, you guys.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. We've all been through it. All of
yeah,
us. None of us are getting out of it.
none of it. Like you gotta do your work. And
Got to do
that's
your work.
sovereignty. You cannot do your work through just piggybacking off of somebody else. Like, and it's easier if you just grow through it yourself. I know that may sound like a little bit like, what? This is crazy. No, it really
Mhm.
is. Like that's what I learned. Like you can watch from the sidelines what everybody else is doing. But it really is a beautiful thing when you just own it, because that freedom that you feel when you are the one doing your work and you're able to move through everything, the sovereignty freedom is really, it's a whole different level. I don't even know how to explain what that feeling is like, because I think,
Total peace, total
yeah, it's
freedom.
total peace, it's freedom. It's like nothing really sweats you as much. You
No.
move things a little bit different where you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Like, yeah, right. Is that how you feel? Where
Yep.
it's like, all right,
Yes.
cool, that's happening. All
Just
right,
go with the
cool.
flow.
Yeah, and like you just know, and like
Yep.
you choose to get better and better, and like you have tools that can help you. So when you say like total peace, groundedness, balance, like to get to peace, you do have to work through the things that are holding you back that probably appears in your nervous system, though. That's what I also learned from your example of what you shared about your client and the horse, where she didn't fall or nothing like that, but what she got down to is a specific experience that she went through that was stuck within her
Yep.
in
Yep.
some sort of way, right? And then
Yep.
she had to work through that, and she had to move that through the motions and
Yep.
to become at peace in her present life, in her present moment. So we're at the place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one
No,
of the things you just brought up multiple emotions, and I just wanted to remind everybody that whatever is coming up is clearly energy that's within your body that needs to be honored, that needs to be looked at. Once you look at it and you honor it and you say, yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm feeling really sad in this moment. And I'm going to let myself feel sad. I'm not going to bury it in my dungeon. I'm going to feel it and I'm going to own it. And then you let it just move right through you. We have to deal with every emotion that's coming up because that's all telling us what's within us. It's our superpower. It's telling us what energy we have within you. And that's what it, same with the trigger. A trigger brings up emotion. And we only get triggered because it's a like frequency that's within our body. It's never about somebody else. So it's really important to deal with our emotions and not bury them because we're
yeah,
at a point right now where we really can't. You're going to stay
yeah,
in misery if you aren't dealing with your emotions. Yeah. And I don't mean to laugh at you for that. I'm just saying this is the truth. Yeah.
yeah. No, and I love that you say that, because there is oh my gosh, the author is Boy Truman's mother. Boy Truman's mother is Boy Truman is the creator of Symphony of the Cells in DoTERRA. His mom created a book called Feelings Buried Alive They Never Die. And then he created a whole system called Symphony of the Cells. Amazing, amazing thing that he created, where he created certain application systems, or suggested Symphony of the Cells application, where it helps you through many dis-ease, many possible associated conditions that is labeled out here in the world. And as we talk about the emotional and the limbic system, there is even systems, application systems that he created of that. And it's with the different essential oils and how to place them on specific areas of your body, from your spine to your feet to your shoulder, and then also smelling it. So when you speak of what we have been speaking of from the beginning of this specific episode, it takes me to that. It makes me think of the symphony of the cells, because our spine, right? You talked about tailbone, our spine area, our
Which is
olfactory,
governed by the root chakra, need to be
which
grounded.
you need to be grounded. And I think about like the feet, right? And your feet tells the stories too of your whole body. But when you think about that, when you're grounding, you're either standing on aina or you're sitting on aina, and that, or land, right? And that usually gets you grounded into spaces and places. Like I'm gonna throw this out there. Deb walks, if she had her way, she could walk barefoot in many, many areas.
I don't
But
wear shoes unless
yes, and
I
she's
going
so
out.
grounded. She can walk the forest, no shoes.
I do.
So when I think about like grounding and what you're talking about, like the system, like how our spine, everything, like it starts in motions like that, right? Like how connected are we even just to Mother Nature?
Yep.
Like, and so these oils are just another form of Mother Nature in
Yes.
a bottle, right? But like when you think like where she's sitting right now, there's nature all around her right
My
now.
green kin, I call them. I
And
love
like
them.
the connection to that, this right here, the moon, the
Mhm.
connection that the moon has to our cycles of life, of just every piece of nature, right? And also to us as wahine, for
Yes.
sure, on just how much it plays a role in our system and stuff like that. So it so connected. If we're connected to nature in many different forms and ways, by nature, by natural field, the nature elements, or just elements in general, like helps us live in this form of what we're talking about, like this energetic alignment. I really believe it, actually. So Symphony of the Cells, I just want to touch base on that though, because we are going from grounding to nervous, energetic boundaries, heart coherence. There is sections, and I really have just been deep diving more and more into that, which I love. Symphony of the Cells, just letting you guys know, I always do that. That's one of my favorite things to do for myself, my husband, and my son. I feel like that has Symphony of the Cells has been a big piece of me taking
Nice.
care of being a mother as well. Because it
Mm.
was like I get to go ahead and help my Kiki whenever he may be feeling sick, or like prevent certain things from happening as well. And there's a specific area in here that is all about the emotional and limbic system, which through that, what I wanted to just talk about is what you're saying, or what we were talking about here. It connects to all the different things like emotional trauma, fear, grief, depression, touching base on all of that, stress, tension, right? Like that is kind of what stops us from being grounded and
Yeah.
being more in who we are, because we didn't release some of that, or we weren't open for it to flow, like it got captured in us, if that makes sense. So I just
Yep.
wanted to share that, because the oils, one of the oils that is mentioned inside there is vetiver. So
Nice.
yeah,
And
I
then
thought
you,
about that. And peace, actually, vetiver and
oh,
peace. So
again, one of my faves.
yeah, so I just thought about it since we were talking about this, and it's
Yeah.
like that's specifically connected to um olfactory, our olfactory bulbs, our pineal gland, our
Yeah, we're
fornix.
sniffing it straight up.
Yep. So I was just like, wow, that's crazy, because that is exactly what it is connecting to in that area. And that is also what I've learned, that the science say that when all of that is not centered or in alignment, that's also where sometimes there's not good sleep. because it's kept within us. And then, as we know, when we don't have good sleep, well, sleep is a form of helping us
Yes,
regulate it and be
absolutely.
in ease and in motion. So,
Yeah.
and I want to talk about that because my topic was, how do you get a better sleep? Well, it has to connect to everything that Deb is talking about. You have to have a groundedness. You have to be able to close that mind down and like
Regulate your nervous system. When
regulate
you're in
yourself.
anxiety, you can't sleep.
Yep. And you have to have energetic boundaries. There's no way you're going to be able to sleep if you have all of this technology things going or just outside
Yes,
energetic things coming in, right? Like there's
yes.
just no way. And so, yeah, that's kind of cool because Deb didn't even know that that was my topic that I wanted
I
to
had no
talk about.
idea.
So this
But
helps me out.
awesome. And then I want to just circle back just really quick with one thought on the book. Emotions buried alive never die. And the
Yes.
reason why is because that energy has been created from a trauma that happened. Doesn't matter what kind of trauma. Somebody in fourth grade pushed you down, or and you felt a separation between humanity, whatever it is. When that emotion is still within you and you leave your body, it's in your lineage. That's what we're all clearing right now. Everything in our family lineage, everything that we have ever not healed from or cleared out of us from every lifetime we've ever had on planet Earth is right now, right now. And that's why feelings buried alive never die.
Yeah.
Somebody down the line has to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So let it be you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is why for myself specifically, I did get into that because understanding like if you're gonna do genealogy work, um, there's like two sides of things. There's the history of the paper of who is your ohana, and then there's the other side where it's understanding like what I know you're from, what did you carry, how does it all pass down, like when they say like, oh, I got this from my grandma, or I'm like this because my mom, and all that kind of stuff. There's like a double-edged sword of that because there's pros and cons of it, where it's like if you're like that in one area, then you are clearly able to receive other areas. So it's understanding what are you gonna take on, what are you not gonna take on. And that's
Yes.
definitely what I learned in my journey of that, where it's like, oh, I gotta do the work. Okay,
And
this
you
is why.
did.
Yes, I think Deb was one of the main people to see me grow through the journey of, okay, I gotta grow through this. Okay, I gotta grow through that. I remember telling her at one point I would come kicking and screaming in some areas.
But you came.
But then I
But you
came and
did
I
it.
showed up, and then afterwards I don't kick and scream now. I'm more like, okay, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, this is how I can show up, this is the tools that I'm coming with, this is probably where I need to do a little bit more work on and things like that. And that's sovereignty for me. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe so we don't go all day long. 'Cause Primrose and I could just go. Like this could be an 8 hour like marathon with Deb and Primrose. But but I'm thinking let's move on to frankincense.
Yep.
I think maybe that's probably a part of every single conversation we have is the king of oils. But
Yep.
this is about vertical alignment and sacred stillness. So, because it really helps to create this spaciousness inside without disassociation. So it's like not escaping, but bringing clarity to us that helps with inner stillness. It helps with witnessing, like to be the witness of our own life and what's happening around us, to be that silent witnesser so that we can learn from it, we can move on from it. Reducing mental noise. I think this is a gigantic bonus of our dear Frankie baby, like I like to call him, because we all have it. And that is like, to me, it's like one of the biggest things for us because that's all ego. It's not who we authentically are outside of this body. And that's what we need to get in touch with is our authenticity, not all the programs. It's all that, and within that is it's the mental noise. It's that monkey mind that just goes and goes and goes. Frankincense. Frankincense really helps with that. Um,
Yep.
and bringing that into balance, that's like really, really critical right now. And speaking of critical, you talk because I got to plug my laptop in, my battery's dying.
Oh, that's so funny because I actually had frankincense and balance paired together. Um, this was one of my first favorite combinations was frankincense, balance, and wild orange, actually.
What? Oh, wild orange. Okay.
Yeah, but I had frankincense and balance paired together on the right of me. So I was like, of course she would talk about frankincense today. Because like how she said, we always talk about frankincense is also one of the oils used in the emotional and the limbic system. For sure, that is definitely what is one of the oils used in the Symphony of the Cell protocols. Frankincense is actually probably what I've been in kilo of or observation of all of the different application protocols for Symphony of the Cell. They use frankincense a lot. I agree with Deb on everything about the frankincense because this oil moves through the truth of things. Yep. Gets you to the enlightenment. Gets you through. You know why I love calling these besties in the bottles or besties in bottles is because sometimes we don't want to talk about it. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't want to talk about maybe what you did 3 years ago that got you into a situation where you're just like, oh snap, I did that 3 years ago and I don't know how to move past it. These besties in the bottles, if you could literally sit and smell, right? Whether you're in a room or you're out there, like how Deb is in nature with self, sit, smell, let the things move through your nervous system. Let the things go from your na'au, which is your stomach area, move it up to your heart, move it up
Yeah.
to your mind. That's self therapy, that's self ownership, that's self awareness, and also making sure to take care of self at the same time, so self accountability.
Yeah.
And frankincense is really the king of oils, but also that is also what it is, it's the oil of truth. So if you ever need to like sit and learn what's up within you and you're okay with it, sit, have a white sheet of paper or a journal, whichever floats your boat, or even your phone,
Yeah.
and just
Record
let
it.
it out. Yeah, record it, let it out, let it how it has to be out, and you'll be so surprised how lighter you feel afterwards,
Mhm.
and how you'll be able to move that sovereignty, to be able to acknowledge yourself, check yourself, take that accountability and that ownership. And then once you get through that and you release what needed to be released, you paid homage to the voices or emotions within, it moves. Like you by nature will move differently. You won't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm carrying that 10-pound extra weight that I've been carrying for the last how many
On your
years,
shoulder.
because
Yeah.
yeah, on my shoulder, because you didn't know how to grow through it. You didn't know how to release it. So
Yep.
frankincense is one of those. And because Deb said balance, literally balance with frankincense helps move through it just a lot faster.
Yeah.
Because
Good
then,
point. It
you know,
potentiates it.
yes, like they're companions where it's like, oh, you just got awakened to the whole truth. You got, activated, you got cracked wide open.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit too much, right? Where you're like, oh my gosh, emotions and all this kind of stuff starts coming in. And you may want to know, how do you wrap it up? Or how do you put a blanket around you to like that comforting area? That's where I would definitely put balance. And balance, this oil comes with black spruce, one of my faves.
Mhm.
And then also cinnamon, laurel, whole leaf, frankincense is also in balance. So you're getting that extra truth and love. Blue tansy, laughing at
Ah.
Jen. And blue chamomile and osmanthus. So you already have franken here. You're just pushing it through a little bit more. And then if I may, I'm going to add in something on what I like to add in to this whole thing. If you want to go more up and be like happy in the process and wrap it up, you can do wild orange or you can do citrus bliss. Citrus bliss has wild orange already in it. It also has lemon, grapefruit, bergamot, red mandarin, green mandarin, lime, um, litsea, tonka bean, and vanilla absolute. So this is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
If it ever made something to where I could eat something like this, but it's not.
Very
It's not
cheerful.
it's like a Starburst
Yeah.
in some sort of way,
Right?
So it really helps
Yeah.
because hey, we ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's some hard work. We know some hard things, and you may be growing through it alone. You may not have a family member in your ohana that is like, I completely understand you. You may not even have the depth of friend circles that completely understand you through this process. But this is why we like to use our tools.
And
Whether
I
we're using, so
and
go
I
ahead.
just want to say we are here for you.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. If you have nobody in your life that is going through this process, we feel you. I have been there, partially still there. We're here for you. Reach out to us. We will support you.
Yeah.
We're
We're
all
also
in
on
Ohana.
Instagram
It's the
again
one
now.
human family.
Yeah, we're on Instagram again now, so we'll probably even drop that inside of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole feed where you can get it.
Yeah.
But absolutely, because if you do need us, like we'll probably be talking about it just like this as well. Like, oh well, what's happening? Oh well, like what is your life like? If you do need our support, and we'll probably say similar things to you. Oh well, you should grab this, or you should go to this place. You should fill into this place. Well, maybe we may even share a meditation or two or a pule or two.
Yep.
Uh, we may also probably suggest crystals as well. We come with all different types of tools. That's why. So
Yep.
whatever you need in your support, yeah, just reach out, let us know, and we'll see how we can kako you inside that area, support you, help you.
Beautiful.
But this is a three. So sorry, you probably
I
can't see
like
this,
that.
but frankincense, balance, and before it used to be wild orange, but I really did upgrade it to citrus bliss
Just this.
because it has all of those lovey-dovey, like joyful oils inside this, and you do want to create that balance. To ground, it's not all shit shows and shitty deals. You know what I mean? Like it's not all supposed to be like that. We are supposed to be able to create the magic in our life and be able to bring more abundance and more prosperity. So as you're growing through what I like to say is the lower ones, I think Deb said it best. 2 atmospheres below the ocean.
Oh, yeah, that's how I've been feeling the last 2 weeks
Yeah,
with all of these frequencies. I'm feeling I'm about 2 atmospheres below the water. If you're a scuba diver, you know what I mean.
yeah.
I've got
So you don't
pounds
want,
of pressure from the water.
yeah. So you don't want to stay there all the time, right? You want to go back up. You want to breathe. You want to like be able to, how can I say, yeah, flow back and forth where it's like sometimes you got to go to the deep diving, no
Yes.
doubt about it.
Yep.
But then you do want to make sure you go back up. And Deb has so much tools that she knows, like, okay, I can handle this amount. All right, this is what I have to do. And she is very obedient in her journey of listening to her
This
body.
I am.
Yeah, listening to her guides as well. Like she is one of my dearest friends that I can say, oh no, if she's telling me like, nope, can't do this, nope, ain't gonna move to this, nope, I'm gonna just sit right here. I know she's like gonna be doing that. Like she's not going to let anything
Or
outside of
anybody.
or anyone like tell her any different because she lives it, she walks it, she moves through that motion. So this would be my suggestion in that area. It is frankincense, it is balance,
Can't see it. There you
it's
go.
balance, and then it is citrus bliss.
Awesome. Beautiful. All
Thank you.
right. So I feel like I'm rushing because I just don't want it to be like insanely long, but I want to move on to the next oil. Blue lotus, crown and heart, activating the crown and the heart without over activating it. It's like a refinement of our subtle perception, which is really important for those of us that are, already realizing we're expanding our consciousness, right?
Mhm.
It's receptivity, it's intuitive listening, and a devotional presence. And so the second card, I drew three cards today. The second one is trusting your voice, reclaiming your inner authority. Again, that goes with sovereignty, but it's also the throat chakra.
That's a nice part.
And the throat chakra, intuitive listening, that's part of the throat chakra and the third eye, both of them.
Hmm.
So, Blue lotus is good when our consciousness is expanding rapidly. Blue lotus can help prevent, you know, the like forcing things to happen, but more like allowing that expansion to happen. And you know what? I want to add one more thing just in case it doesn't come up where I can slip this in because I just said forcing things to happen. The third card I got was divine union. And this is not your twin flame. This is a divine union within ourself, our divine feminine and our divine masculine aspects and balancing them. So these are the cards, these three cards are what I got for the collective of humanity. So if the masculine way is doing, um, forcing, making things happen. And the feminine way is intuition. It's flow. It's allowing if you're in the flow. I don't mean sitting on the couch and waiting for the $1 million check to show up. I mean, like you're in the flow, but we need to balance that, knowing because we're listening to our intuition when to take action, when to effort instead of just efforting, which is a very masculine way. So bringing ourselves into divine union so we are whole and complete within ourselves. So I just wanted to add that in case that didn't come up. But Blue Lotus, because it's really receiving and not straining. I think that comes together. So do you have anything to add on Blue Lotus? I love Blue Lotus. I have it on every day. I love it. Rub it on my third eye. I love it.
So I actually have something that I want to talk to you because you talked a good amount, pretty much of a balance of feminine and masculine and understanding what's going in. And so the yin and yang symbol is such a great example for that. In Kanaka Hawaii, it's Hina and Ku, but this is a great image of it because it shows like in both sides, you will always have, right, that the duality of it, where the masculine, the feminine, and there is, as you can see, that little dot where there's still some masculine energy in there and there's still some feminine energy in there when you're in your masculine or feminine, but it's not, oh, like it knows its place, it knows when to show up, like, and so that's a self identity as well, like mastering thyself to understand what is your masculine side, like how Deb gave like very specific ways of how your masculine can show up first, how your feminine can show up, and then how to move that into motion. I think that's kind of where I'm getting the understanding of all of our tools here to help us because for example, some days you may want to rest and not rest where, oh, you're just completely lazy. It's more like rest to where you can turn off your brain a little bit and not be so much into creating. And it's not, oh, you're not in that feminine flow. It's like, no, you have gotten to a point where you can take a step back and maybe create it by resting in someplace else, where sometimes I may want to go ahead and I'm in that flow of putting out all of these different sprays. That's a union of my masculine and my feminine energy. because I already created what I'm supposed to, like what each blend is going to be in, or what each blend, like what oils, what crystals, all of that stuff it's going to be. And then making it is a different story, because then, okay, am I going to create one or am I going to create 12, right? There's a different type of work into that. So Blue Lotus is about awakening, and it's about opening us up and cracking us wide open. And when I think of the feminine and the masculine, we get cracked open within our own identity to really say, who am I? Right? Like the more that you go into your self-mastery journey, it's about understanding yourself and getting down to who are you and who are you not. And so Blue Lotus,
Yes.
I definitely want to read off of our handy dandy
I
essential
love it.
emotions app,
Yes, I love
but
that.
I really love what this one specifically was saying. So, Blue Lotus, awakening. Blue Lotus has a sweet mystical aroma denoting well springs of untapped spiritual possibilities. This
Mm.
oil beckons all to explore higher realms. It asks individuals to awaken to their spiritual purpose and expand further into their calling than ever before. For the seeker, meeting this oil can feel like a mysterious initiation.
Mm.
Its energy helps them discover their unique gifts just beginning to take form. It invites individuals to embark on the journey to their sacred center. It
Mm.
is here that Blue Lotus helps both novice and seasoned mentor alike connect with higher knowledge and guided intuition.
Mm.
That's just the first paragraph of what it shared, but I wanted to share that based off of everything that we were talking about,
Mm.
where it said season, novice or season, which is kind of our anthem that we're talking about right here, where it doesn't matter where you're at in your
Yep.
self mastery journey, right?
Yep.
Like everybody has their own extension, everyone has their own initiation, everyone has their own journey to grow through. It that's that sovereignty, that's the self identity, the self mastery, and once again sharing how all of these besties in bottles are here to just be of support to us. That if you want to, that's why I said if you want to go a little bit faster, that's kind of what I did in my area, where it's like, oh, I love how this one smells and where it's going at in my different organs. Oh, what about if I added this one to it? Oh, now it opens that organs and it connects to that, because every oil connects to a different organ, which connects to a different element. So if you're doing one by itself, you can go at that speed. If you're going 2, 3, 4, you go at a different speed as well. So Blue Lotus, like the lotus, individuals often begin their greatest period of growth when they realize they must emerge from the mud they felt bound
The
by.
bottom to come up and be beautiful.
And it's going with our anthem here today. So that staying in their current comfortable situation won't bring the fulfillment they yearn for. It is in calm moments that Blue Lotus begins to stir individuals' hearts to recognize that there is more that can be done with the precious time they have. This oil illuminates where they have become spiritually stagnant, descended into draining emotional states like bitterness, resentment, and blame, or slipped into numbness and apathy. This oil asks them to rise above their lesser inclinations and reclaim their inherent birthright and potential.
Fabulous. Mic drop.
Mic drop. It just wraps it up. This is my
Yep.
wrap up. Wrap
Yeah,
it
I
up,
love it.
because I mean that's what we're talking about right now. So
I love it.
I,
Awesome.
I think I'm gonna leave it at that for me with Blue Lotus, because that sums up
Yeah.
everything that we were talking about. Yeah,
Fabulous. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. So next one, cedarwood. And then we did already have a grounding oil, and the trees are grounding oils. But this goes along with one of the the energies that I think that we all need to look at right now and that are present right now. It's stability and a protective containment. So it carries structure like an architecture. It supports our container that houses our soul, who we really are. So when the collective energy is chaotic, so cedarwood helps create boundaries, which we already talked about, steadiness, and rooted authority, which is our sovereignty. We have the authority over our own body. Nobody else on this planet has the right to have authority over us. Period. End of story. End of story. And if you don't feel that way, I invite you to go within and really look at why. It helps. The frequency really feels like I'm remaining in my own field with boundaries, energetic boundaries. And it's really, really useful during collective fear waves, which happen every time we get these really big influxes of energy, because it's like, so the energy, it's light, which is information shining down on the planet, coming into our bodies. And it's like walking in the kitchen in the middle of the night with a flashlight and all the cockroaches come out. It's shining a light on the density that comes up. And a lot of that density is fear. A lot of humanity is holding fear because it's out there everywhere in our face on purpose. So being in our body, reminding ourselves, I am safe in all moments. There is nothing to fear whatsoever. During these collective waves will be very helpful in helping you get back into some emotional alignment if that's something that you're dealing with right now. And it comes in waves. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about cedarwood.
Love that. So
Thank you.
the other oil that I had to grab before we started, remember I told you I grabbed the Arise and then another oil. It's actually Coastal Escape, and cedarwood is in this specific blend. And this blend has, and this is one of the newer blends that came out of doTERRA. Like, it hasn't been in here forever long. If you, that must say, I'm pretty sure it's like either this year or last year. Like, it's very, very new to the blend fam. But this specific oil has juniper berry,
Oh,
cedarwood,
love it.
samwood, grapefruit, coconut oil, bergamot, coriander, eucalyptus. What is the other one?
Nice.
Seaweed, and another oil that I
Several oils assisting with energetic boundaries.
Yes, all of this is energetic boundaries. All
Fabulous.
of these, and it really and also this blend is also authenticity.
Will you repeat that blend again?
Coastal Escape.
Okay.
And it's a 5 ml bottle, just like this blue area. But this specific blend, reading from our Essential Emotions blend, is all about authenticity. So all of these combine helps with authenticity.
Love it.
And this oil asks individuals to pause and observe their life, like sitting on the ocean shore, watching the waves come and go. It invites them to evaluate what is worth keeping and what needs to be washed away to reclaim integrity and restore good judgment. Encouraging simple acceptance of where they truly are, this moment of stillness and presence guides them to decide how best to move forward. This blend invites a return to authenticity, reconnecting with the healing power of nature and the healing within themselves.
Fabulous.
Mic drop.
I was about to say that. I'm like, wait a minute, another mic drop.
Like this. Okay, so and this is actually also in my rainbow spray. So this is a duality spray. And it was, that spray, for context, was created for the wholeness. When you talked about feminine and masculine, which you were talking about, that's what it was created for, to balance that feminine, masculine. Let us come into our whole self and, put a rainbow on it because the chakras, and made me understand like that's that wholeness as well, like because that's a piece of the connection, right? Like when we understand like our chakras and stuff. That's a whole nother video we could do for you guys, but
That's
keeping it,
actually several more videos.
yeah, like we're trying to keep it as short as possible here. We could
Ha
just
ha ha.
dive of the deep. But yeah, that's what I got.
Fabulous.
Cedarwood, because I love cedarwood. Like we could go on and on about
Me
that.
too. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. It's one of my favorites. And it's community.
yeah, and it is definitely one that is so good when you pair it up with balance and also citrus bliss as well. Like,
That's an oil. So I pull from an essential oils oracle deck before I do a session on somebody, or even if I'm just doing an intuitive reading for them to let them know what oils would support them because I believe in the plant medicine so deeply. And cedarwood is one that comes up over and over and over and over for my clients. And a big piece of that is community,
yeah.
inviting community, being a part of community. So many people are feeling really lonely right now.
Mm.
Yeah. And then, okay, so moving on from community, the next oil, and I think I have two left to share. Rose,
Oh, oh,
heart
oh.
coherence. Rose, it's so fear is the opposite of love. Fear right now is the dominant distortion on our planet right now, but rose may be one of the most important oils because real heart coherence requires enormous strength. It really requires a lot of strength to stay in your heart, and it helps. Rose helps with grief, sorrow, tenderness, emotional armor, where we're like just holding the world out, right? Compassion without collapse. So I want to share something that just a big thing that just hit me the other day. And we're at a place where we're having lots of awarenesses, right? Lots of awarenesses about ourselves and how we showed up. I mean, all of a sudden you have I just had an awareness about something last week where I'm thinking about something from decades ago where this person has really, really wronged me. And I had all of a sudden this aha of, oh my God, I was the asshole. Oh my God, it was me. These are the awarenesses that we're having so that we can come back into balance and clear that energy. So one of the things that just hit me a couple of days ago and might not feel as deep for you, I don't know, but I ended up just weeping for like an hour because I all of a sudden could feel the this overwhelming feeling about humanity treating everything as less than, that we're the supreme being on this planet and everything else is just less than and it's at our disposal. And when you start reconnecting with everything around you, it was a pain that I felt so deeply. And I don't know that as we're moving through this, more and more people are going to feel this kind of energy because when you do start tapping into everything, you start noticing like that I walk into Home Depot and Lowe's, we're going to go buy a plant. They're all toxified. They all tell me. So the first thing I do is I go and clear all their energy. They're so grateful, but they share with me, this is what humanity's doing to me. That's just one small little tiny example, but it's everywhere. We own everything. So anyway, it just, that's a grief that lives in your heart. And I wanted to bring Rose into this because as we're moving forward, I feel like this is something that more and more and more of us might be really feeling as we start to connect with other beings, talking to your animals, talking to the trees, talking to the plants, talking to the elementals, the elements. It helps keep the heart open while metabolizing sorrow, which is lovely. I mean, that's what we do. We metabolize everything, right? So that's what I had to say about Rose.
You already know I love Rose. So
Love Rose. Put it on the heart.
Rose, yeah, I actually that's crazy because to the left of me was Rose and Beautiful, so I'm gonna
Ah,
line both of them
my
together.
Rose was to the left as well, by the way.
Oh, perfect because Yeah, so I always have rose on hand.
Me
I
too.
always have an extra bottle if I
I have
can. And
3 bottles right now. I
yeah,
can't run out of rose.
I can't run out of rose. I have an extra one. I have two that I use, one that I use specifically for blends and one that I use specifically for me. So understanding the frequencies and energies. So what you just shared, everything, yes. On point, even down to the connection. So for those who don't know, I or haven't gotten it yet, I am Kanaka Hawaii. So I am very much a Hawaiian. And I'm a different type of Hawaiian. I will listen to the unseen, meaning the elements, the kupuna, all of that. I will listen to them before I do listen to the humans. And I do say that very clearly. Because
She
that's how
does.
I was raised, and that is that embodiment of one, that pilina with understanding my place in this whole world. And that, with that being said, I understand that I'm just a piece here. I'm a little piece. There's 3 lanes that I was
But
born and raised to
so
understand.
strong.
So strong in, but humble in that way of
Yes.
humility, right? Of understanding I am
100%.
powerful in who I am. However, I know my place. I know my role. I know why I was brought here earthbound. But being raised in the lifestyle I was raised, I understand there's my lane, there's other people's lane, and then there's that third lane that belongs to the unseen, belongs to the kupuna, belongs to the elements, belongs to the akuas, the amakuas. The other 2 lanes outside of me, I don't control. I get to co-create with. What does that mean? It means in every space and place that I enter, and Deb has seen that by nature, I will always do my own natural protocols
Yep.
first. I will ask for permission to enter in. I will go ahead and talk to everything around or feel the energy around and connect with that, because that is what this world is, that, to be
That's
honest.
respect.
Yeah, that's like I live in a reverence, a state of mind, heart of mind,
Yes. Me
to
too.
where they matter, they're real, they have their own energy, their own essence, their own kuleana here on this planet, in this earth, in this day of age. Even if some may not acknowledge that, it's not my kuleana to pay attention to others. It's my kuleana to make sure to continuously show up in that. And why I share that is because what Deb was just sharing over the last few days. We went to the beach last week, Friday, and by nature, first time I got to go to this specific beach, first introduction. So as my husband is loading out the car, trust and believe me, and my son is doing protocols, because it's more of introducing myself to that space, asking for permission if we can enter, asking for understanding if what we can do here, because spaces and places, almakuas, animals, they have their own rhythm of life. So if I'm there, I'm a guest. That's what I'm understanding. I'm a guest out there. Why I'm sharing this with Rose is because Rose is that cleanup oil. Rose brings you into that higher vibration. And Rose was one of the oils that I actually carried on that day, and used after that day as well. So after the sun, rubbed myself, my husband, and my son down with rose oil, as well as other specific things of doTERRA. Why? Because we went in there with respect. We went in there with reverence. Even though my husband has been there before and has gone diving, we as a ohana, we went in there for the first time together. And so understanding that, one, every place in this world has its own space and energy, like what Deb was sharing when she went into Home Depot and went to the plants, and the plants told her what was up, right? Same. When we go over there, there's so many things, or when we go out to other spaces, there's so many things that is already there, that if you're also not careful in your energetic boundaries, maybe you've been sensitive your whole life, and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I just been a crybaby. No, maybe you could have just been activated from a younger age, and by nature, um, nature is trying to tell you, or like remind you, who you are. and what you are and why you are that way or that purpose or that person. So it's up to us again to do that work to understand. So Rose, being the queen of oils, being the oil, yeah, I always sleep with Rose and beautiful. I always rub it down. I like smell it. Right when Deb said it, I was like, yeah, I feel like I need to re-up my left arm because I like rub, like I just put it on my left arm and I just like rub it against my chest because the left is also that feminine side. The left is the receiver. The left is connected to your flow of what you will let enter into your space. And so I do always put Rose, even on, so I have my little coupe here, and that I've been able to make from being underneath my kafu. I always now,
Higher, because your name is hiding it.
oh,
Oh,
so right
oh,
here.
there we go. Oh, I like that.
And I always put my Rose on my Kawila over here. I just like go ahead, just smell it up, and also protecting my coupe as well, because
Nice.
this is a piece of my pale, a piece of my energetic boundaries. So it's understanding that sovereignty when you put everything into place. You're building up your veils, or you're building up your walls of protection, but not in a way of, oh, you don't want everybody to enter. It's in that way of like how we were talking about earlier, where it's like, you know, when to let people in, when not to let people in,
Like
how,
frequency.
yeah, like frequency. And it's like you have that yeah, like a glass or some type of see-through theme there. And also Rose, my name is Primrose, by the way, but this oil is the one that got me into doTERRA, like fully into doTERRA to
Because
where I
there's
am.
no other rose like this rose
Yeah,
that I
no,
have smelled.
no.
Mm-mm.
I've smelled
Love
rose
it.
oils. I've been given rose oils, and
Me
I'm like,
too.
this one is real. So
Yes.
that really helped. That intrigued me. That let me see, one, my name from a different perspective. Two,
Mm.
the amount of respect that doTERRA has to cultivate all of their
I
essential
agree.
oils and what they do to make sure to malama
Yes.
that, right? Because
Okay.
every piece matters. And so rose is also in my primrose blend here, because it's a high frequency oil as well. It's the queen of oils to help you remember your feminine side. If maybe you're too masculine, I can truthfully say that I was raised in a masculine way. Always no work, no eat, you know, and that type of mentality doesn't let you flow exactly. It makes you more organized, more disciplined, making you want to get things in order. But also, you need that kind of what we were talking about, that feminine and masculine, yin and yang, where I need to take a step back. I need to let my husband lead, you know, and maybe that's also a thing in our world that we cultivated, where a lot of times we don't like to stay in our lane, or we wasn't raised to go ahead and
Get in
understand
everybody's business,
that part. So I should be all up inside. My
right?
husband is a masculine energy. I should back up, because even though I was raised in, yeah, work, 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 his work ethic is to a different level. His essence is to a different level. His vision is to a different level. And that lets me honor myself while honoring him in that sovereignty as well. So that's what I have to say about Rose. If you don't
Nice.
have it yet, let us know, and we can help you get it as
That's
well.
right. You know, I want to add one more thing about the rose, and I'm getting that it's red rose that's in here. Um, the rose in general is a powerful healer. The frequency of the rose is a powerful healer, but the red rose is the most powerful. So it is such a beautiful heart healer, the red rose. And then I actually don't have another oil that we haven't discussed, but I wanted to add one more thing is on the sweet orange. And that's the fact that going through times like this, it's so intense, we become way too serious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something about the sweet orange, just adding that joy, restoring that joy within us, cultivating that joy, and
Mm-hmm.
making us want to play, to have optimism, spontaneity. to remember the delight in life. Like we're here to enjoy this earthly experience, even though this is a culmination lifetime and we're moving up through an evolutionary process to become Homo luminous. But let's be joyful in that. Yeah, we're going to have times that we're down and we're dealing with deep stuff in our dungeon and we need to. But then we come out of that. Let's be joyful. Let's be playful. Let's enjoy life. And sweet orange can assist with that.
Mhm.
I feel that
Yep.
with grapefruit too. I mean, they're to some extent, but sweet orange is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said that I used to do the wild orange, but kind of like what you said, like there's a lot of like just everybody thinks it has to be so rough and so like rawr and things like that, where it
Yeah.
stops that flow of abundance as well, right? When you're like, oh my gosh, and like you can't get to a certain level of inviting joy in or inviting the flow. So wild orange is in citrus bliss and arise, and then it has both of them has grapefruit in it.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
actually, I forgot. I wanted to bring up, I wasn't planning on talking about it. And as I was grabbing my oils, hope jumped out at me. This is a new
oh, a
blend
good
with
one.
doTERRA. And like, is there another time on our planet that we really need to feel hopeful? There are a lot of people that say, we're going to hell in a handbasket. No, we're
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
This darkness has been here. It's just
yeah.
showing its face so that we can clear it and we can move on. Hope. So what do you know about hope?
Hope is about overcoming. And what I also love that you brought up hope. So in doTERRA is
Mm.
talking about, how they go through great lengths to make these oils. Hope is one of those blends that they go through all the different areas of this country and the world. Actually, I want to say the world, because they go through all different areas where all these essential oils come from. And hope is one of those
Oh,
oils that when you buy it, you're supporting that specific section of doTERRA as well. And so that is one of the things that I want to talk about, because it's all about the resourcing, right? And it's all about understanding they they will go through great lengths to bring hope to everyone across the world. That shows a lot about who they are as a
I
company.
love that.
And in this specific oil, there's actually cedarwood in this oil, and wild orange,
I was going to say there was an orange. Yeah.
and sandalwood as
Mm.
well, and vetiver actually inside that one. And I believe, let me do this. Yep, that's what I thought. Magnolia, lemon, pink pepper, bergamot, um, petitgreen
Yeah.
as well. So
Jasmine.
jasmine, magnolia,
Yeah.
uh,
I think that was all of
sandalwood,
them. Yeah.
petitgreen. Yeah. So all of those oils, man, as individuals, I could just go off about all of those
I
oils.
know
But
you can.
as a
That's
collective,
another 4 hours, people.
yeah, but as a collective, it really is giving you that, it takes you through your inner child back up to your present, and then giving that clarity for your future. Petitgreen is an oil that helps the inner child. It helps bring
Yes.
up, all the things. Gives hope, and a lot of times, who we are as grown adults, something happened in our upbringing, obviously, to cultivate our next steps through adolescence, through early adulthood. So all of those things and nobody normally would tell you in a life, stop, pause, reflect, release, let go of the things that do not serve you, know your purpose. No, like there's no
Yep.
real life book
Yep.
that's created in that from when you are born or when your parents had you, in that. So it really is a lesson and a journey of self, and also your own ohana. And then as you grow out there, right, the world starts cultivating you, shaping you, all of that kind of stuff. And then
Programming you.
programming you, and I start saying things. I was just gonna say, out there in the programs, saying life is scary, this is tough, this is what's happening in our
This
world.
is who you are.
This is who you are. This is what we're struggling with. This is
Money
where
doesn't grow on trees.
yeah, things like that. And then like we become this walking library and taking that all in and like storing it within ourselves, that it does deplete our hope if you don't already like speak life into yourself, or you
That's
don't know
right.
better, or you don't do your own homework to go beyond the people that are saying that. So it does put on a different lens to where sometimes you cannot see that. You cannot see the hope on the other side or the light at the end of the tunnel, because there's all of these things coming, and these distractions, these instant gratification, these people out there in the world telling you, whether it's on the news or whether you're at a certain place, in the world, where it's like, no, this is what's happening. So hope is one of those oils I absolutely love as well,
I do
because
too.
it blends from the ground to the trees to the flowers to the fruits, and it brings forth,
Mm.
I think, a little bit of something in all categories. When I think about it, like the like trees, fruits, plants, flowers. It brings forth all of that, and it brings forth community. Actually, when I think about it, but also individuality, because self journey, and then gives you that freedom to kind of break through a little bit, and it helps you with accepting more, self acceptance, because a lot of those oils,
Wow.
petitgrain,
Yeah.
uh, bergamot, pink pepper, that's
Yep.
going straight to yourself. Yeah. So it really helps in that area, and releases despair a lot, and hopelessness, because it really starts letting you look at yourself as you can also bring forth solutions. You can overcome certain things, and maybe what you needed in your life that isn't around you because it wasn't created or cultivated yet for some reason, you can be the creator of it. You can bring it. And that actually lets me think about Deb's about your cards, because Deb's cards, I mean, I have a lot of oracle cards like Deb, but it's not as detailed and in an intuitive slash medical way of
Yep.
how Deb's cards were created. And she did that based off of, she also has a lot of oracle cards. She also knows that there's not
I
card.
wanted a deck like this and I
Yes,
couldn't find it. So I was told by my guidance to create it. And I'm like, okay.
yes. And then she went with it, and it took her a long journey on it for her to move it all into motion to where it's at. But like how she just said, it's getting shipped to her tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Whoop,
Which means
whoop. It'll be in the mail.
those who already ordered, y'all should be getting your guys' one super soon,
Yes.
like myself.
Yes.
And then those who didn't order, y'all can go and order it, because there's not an oracle deck like that. So she
Mhm.
is creating and putting into motion hope. And she like
Thank
merged
you.
a lot of things that I'm always inspired by her, by the way, but it already like
Thank
we were
you.
already on this journey of like, I'm gonna create one from a Kanaka Hawaii perspective. And then when she did it, I was like, see, I can do that. Like I knew I could do it, but it was even more of a, oh, not only can I do it, but I'm already putting it in motion. And now it
Yes.
let me release a few
Mhm.
things where I'm not controlling the whole process like how she was saying, but I'm also not just sitting around waiting for something to control it. It's having that hope with understanding the pro co-creation. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? How am I doing it? What is my intentions behind it? And
Yeah.
how will it flow accordingly? So that's a great example for me to talk about hope, is your
Thank you.
oracle deck.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. That's lovely. I appreciate that. Um, I feel like there's two things that I wanted to add really quick that don't have to do with oils in supporting our bodies right now, and that is electrolytes.
Mm,
Whether it's drinking coconut water or buying electrolytes, pay attention to the label. There's so much stuff out there with fake sugars or with sugar, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that in your body right now when anything that's don't put lower frequencies in your body. Just don't. And essential Epsom salt, because the Epsom salts are charged as well, and it's going to help dissipate sitting in that Epsom salt water. I take a salt bath every day. I'm also in the ocean 5 days a week, but the I do a salt bath, and I ask my body. I literally don't do anything without my body telling me that it wants it. Like I'm my body is my biggest partner in life, and it knows it. I'm always like, okay, partner, we're gonna do this. How do you feel about that? But my body, I ask my body, and it's about every 2 to 3 days that it doesn't want Epsom salt. It wants Himalayan salt, and Hawaiian sea salt. And I make sacred healing water, and I put Hawaiian sea salt in it. So I call it sacred salts. And I make that, by the way, it's on my website. But I'll put that in my bath with Himalayan salt. But I just go by what my body wants. My body normally, it's 2/3 of the time it wants the Epsom salt. So it's really helping us to discharge all this extra electricity that is hitting us. So I forgot, I wanted to add that in there, and thought as we're wrapping up, I wanted to share that. So,
I
all right.
absolutely love that, and I concur with what she says. Totally agree on top of that. So just to let you guys know, even though we dive deep about essential oils in here, this is more about just beyond essential oils, the tools that we're going to talk about. And DoTERRA also does not just do essential oils; they have a whole life
Yeah.
style that they put up. So I specifically use the electrolytes from doTERRA. It's the Meta Power electrolytes. They have the strawberry and they have the lime. And my whole family actually uses that because we put it in our smoothie as well to amplify our smoothie. We have our VMGs, our greens from doTERRA as well. And kind of like what Deb said, like our body needs this more and more and more actually.
If we're
And I
releasing density, then why would we be adding it to our body? It's not
that's
serving us.
it's not. So when you release something, your body still needs to understand, like, okay, it has something, like what are you going to kind of not just fill that space, but like now cultivate that space
Mhm.
since you released it.
Yes.
So you do need to cleanse or put clean things with you. When you cleanse, that's what I feel like is the release. You're putting cleaner things into you. So
Amen.
electrolytes, absolutely agree. That's been a topic that I've been talking about a lot lately with
Mm.
some of my clients because it's just like you need to be not
Mhm.
just, I don't say just electrified, but you need to be hydrated, right? And the electrolytes,
Yes.
like it rejuvenates some of the cells that like you just can't drink just plain water.
Well, and there are days that my body wants me to have 2 or 3 glasses of it, not just one, which would be like my norm. So I
Mm-hmm.
just go with how you feel. I think one of the most important things that we can share with you is to get familiar with what yes and no feels like in your body so that
All right.
nobody can bullshit you. You know what the truth is when somebody's speaking to you, when you're
Yeah.
walking a room, what the energy is like. When should I eat this food? Should I not eat this food? Is this good for my body? Is it not good for my, get familiar with what yes and no feels like in your body.
Yep.
I think it's vital,
Yep.
very vital.
Even with
Yeah.
the salt, totally agree with her. Actually in my sprays, I put Hawaiian salt in all my sprays. Because one, I'm Hawaiian. So I understand that working with salt water, and so in the Ahupua'a system, understanding the fresh water to the salt water, understanding the
Mm.
ua, the rain, and how it plays a piece in all of this is very vital. So being able to go into the salt water and cleanse. It's also removing certain things, clearing. Salt is something that we do use.
Healing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's healing and it's banishing like certain things. I also use
Yep.
the salt with the tea leaves as well, or with
Mhm.
olena, and also other la'au lapa'au, to protect myself, to give myself clearing. I don't have a tub anymore, but I have a bucket that I do use the Epsom salt with the
Girl,
oils.
you're surrounded by an ocean.
So that part, so that's why I said the ocean, to
Yeah.
go and swim
That's
at the
salt water.
ocean, right? If you don't have a bathtub, to go ahead and well, if you don't live by the ocean, obviously a bathtub would be
You can also put, if you only have a shower, you can actually put Epsom salt on your skin
on your skin. So I have a
and then
bucket
rinse
that
it
I
off.
use it with essential oils as well. So
I
I do
love that.
essential oils with the Epsom salt. It amplifies. It gives a lot more power. I think the combination together, and of course, then I pull it over it so that also layers
It's
that as well. But I do have
right. Setting our
salt.
intentions. Intention
Yep,
is
setting our
everything.
intentions. So now, like with these specific sprays, I do have salt water or like salt, Hawaiian salt inside of my sprays
Fabulous.
to have that extra
Yes.
protection, energetic boundaries as well. So I use these sprays every single day. And it
Because
really,
sometimes we're just extra, extra.
extra, read all about it. That is one of my favorite words. We are extra.
A
And I
little bit
said,
extra.
we're a little bit extra, I must say. Like we come with a lot. That's why. So thank goodness that we live in aloha and
Yeah. In our
humility.
hearts.
Yeah, our heart space to keep us grounded in
Beautiful.
that space. And one thing that I did want to bring up as well on my end is the adaptive blend slash
Oh,
capsules. This
yes.
is definitely one of the things that has helped me so much um since I became a parent, and like knowing like there's so much more kuleana on me once I became a parent, right? So
Yep.
like much more things that I can't even describe. This helps with the nervous system. This helps with also keeping us grounded. This also helps with energetic boundaries, keeps you in a heart space. There is also a specific oil called the adaptive oil, super amazing, has wild orange and frankincense in that oil as well. But this is the capsule for anyone who likes to take capsules and stuff. And so this is a mood enhancing and relaxing formula, and this ingredient blend helps adapt to stressful situation and new surroundings. So stress really pumps us all out in some sort of way. Um,
Well,
right?
you know what else I'm getting from that while you're talking is that as we're releasing and we're bringing in these high frequencies that are stimulating our density, that comes up. We're looking at it. We're allowing it to move through you. We're releasing it. Maybe we're consciously working on that with different modalities. Reach out if you want help. We both have them. Um, is that every time we do that and then we integrate that new light, we're a new person. We're not who we were 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
And because of that, we need to integrate that and adapt to that new us, which is constantly shifting right now because we're in an evolutionary process. We are embodying our full light of who we are. I
Yeah.
think so I just saw that with the adaptive. I see that being so pivotal right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Agreed. That's
awesome.
the last thing that I needed to. I just wanted to make sure to bring in the adaptive
I'm
because I
glad you did.
yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it's a game changer to just help, and it goes straight into so I don't know if people are aware, like when you take things internally and it goes to your gut, it gets into your system a little bit faster. That's one thing that I've learned versus like if you put an oil on your skin, and it is because your navel area or your stomach area is another piece of governing your whole
Yeah.
body system
Yeah.
as well. So the adaptive capsule, I just learned like yes, you can smell the oil, place the oil on you, put it in the diffuser and things like that. Might cut you, and I would still suggest that. But taking the capsule really works internally as well and helps shift things in just different ways. I just found it to help me shift things in so many different ways and
Interesting.
easier.
Uh-huh.
I just
Interesting.
wanted to share that.
Fabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I should have set a timer because I
Oh,
literally have no long how idea how long this video is, but I think it's about 2 hours.
it's a
So,
long one.
I want to say
Watch
so
this.
sorry, and you're welcome.
That part, like, I'm gonna say, if you watched it through the end, thank you. We
God
appreciate
bless. God bless you. Thank you for
If
joining
you
us.
didn't and you're watching this in chunks,
Yeah.
thank you. And we still appreciate
Right?
you. Because
Right.
we never know how long this is gonna be. I don't think
No,
once did we ever time this, but I think we always just move into motion what we feel like has to be
we're just in the flow.
shared. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you all for joining us. So grateful. And Primrose, if somebody's interested in the sprays you make, where would they find you?
If you're interested to find me, I am on Instagram, Besties in Bottles, and inside of my bio, there is a link where it shows so many other ways that you can get in contact with me as well. And that's where you can find me and connect with me.
Beautiful. And
Besties
I'll add
in
that in the
Bottles.
description below.
Yes.
Besties in bottles, but I'll put that link below so
Okay.
people can find you there. And obviously my itisalalchemy.com is my website, and that's in the link below too. So awesome. Well, again, thank you for joining us, and we wish you a beautiful rest of your day, and aloha.
Mahalo.
Fabulous. Peace out. Aloha.